The most offensive mascots. These were a little tough. We are talking in 2013, we're talking about Dan Snyder with the Washington football team, the Washington Redskins, of course. The Cleveland Indians are coming under fire. Even this team right here is coming under fire. Those are arguments for another day, though I do agree with the two former, not the latter. But we are going to go to Freiburg, Illinois. Their team mascot, the Freiburg Midgets. Wow. How exactly this can be possible for a high school team to have a little man like that holding up his boxing glove astonishes me, like many others. Would you guys like to attend Freiburg High School and be a midget?
Absolutely not.
No?
No, I wouldn't.
Still hasn't been changed, by the way.
That's crazy.
It's pretty offensive.
How did they get that name?
I don't know. I have no idea. It's in southern
Some
Illinois.
historical significance?
Southern Illinois, no clue. Pekin High School in Pekin, Illinois. If we could pull it up, the Chinks.
Wow.
The Pekin Chinks, and then it was changed in 1980 to the Dragons.
Wow. So they were the Chinks throughout the 70s.
Yeah.
That's
Class of 71.
And they still have the dragon symbol, and now they just call themselves the Dragons.
Now they're the Pekin Dragons.
Wow.
How exactly this is possible, man? And how exactly, even in the 1980s, the 70s, they went from, oh yeah, you know what? This is okay. Ladies and gentlemen, taking the court, your 1972 Pekin Chinks.
crazy. I'm curious if these schools are public or private.
Right.
I mean, right?
I would go majority public from what I found.
That's crazy. I have no idea how that happens.
Skipping along, Centralia in Centralia, Illinois. I'm ashamed to have these high schools in Illinois. I'm an Illinois guy. The Centralia Orphans is next.
That's their mascot?
That's their mascot.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
How did they get this name? How did they get these names?
And then look at this. Like they're doing the signs and everything. Like, how offensive can you possibly get?
I was actually reading this, and the girls' team goes by the Annies.
The Annies, yes. I believe we have one more picture.
Annies?
There you go.
Oh my gosh.
It's a scary-looking Annie.
Terrible.
That
It's
is
like a
scary
skeleton with a Ronald McDonald skeleton.
It looks like a Ronald McDonald skeleton.
Number 4, the Coachella Valley Arabs, as I teased earlier. At halftime, they have a ritual where they have belly dancers come out onto the field or onto the court, what have you. They mock dances from Arabs, and a quote says, they intended to honor Middle Eastern culture as a reference to the area's date palm-growing heritage. They're keeping the name, but they are changing the logo, I believe, in 2014, reports, I believe, KABC.
This is
out here.
This is currently.
Yes, this is current. This is current, not changing. They might change the logo, but they are not changing the name.
That's pretty mind-blowing, man.
Yeah, it's pretty mind-blowing. And not even to go back to the other teams you're talking about with just the Cleveland Indians and stuff. I'm from Cleveland, so it's kind of tough where your hometown team that you grew up with, but my mom was always against the Indians, and I would never understand why. And then she would tell me something. She'd be like, and I'm African American, I'm black, so she'd be like, "What if?"
No.
And so she would always say to me, she's like, "What if they were called the Cleveland Blackies? Would you want that?" And I was like,
Good point.
Not to mention that logo is
so
absurd.
offensive.
So
it's ridiculous.
right.
But when you're younger, you're like, "Oh, this is why would?" But now you sit back and you're like, "This is pretty offensive."
That's about as
And pretty bad as it
bad
gets.
as it gets, that
I
picture
mean,
of that Indian. And in the Indians' defense, they've kind of changed it.
They changed the hats. They're
phasing
phasing it out. They got it on the sleeve now, but it's slowly getting out. But it's still, when you sit back and think about it, and you're like, this is disrespectful and rude. I mean, and I don't want to get off the subject with just the Redskins, but it's like, you got to just open your eyes and realize, like, this is not.
Yeah, but you're talking to a person who has no heart in Dan Snyder.
Yeah.
He has no heart. He has no soul.
Well, okay, so here's the thing this is a complicated issue because the Redskin brand is so huge. They're like the 5th most valuable NFL team. So you're not going to convince Dan Snyder to change
bottom line is
because
money
if he has to change, it's a bottom line is money. But the reality of the situation is if the LA expansion team, if whoever's going to own them, came in and said, we want to be the Los Angeles Redskins, wouldn't fly. Wouldn't happen.
Wouldn't.
Yeah.
No way.
Right.
The reality of it is it's going to take a lot. It'll probably take government intervention to
Yeah.
get them to change it.
Right. I mean, Obama has stepped in and said something, and Snyder still doesn't care.
No,
so it doesn't matter.
You're talking to a person who will
too
not
much money
listen.
involved.
Yeah, you won't. You're talking
Bottom
to Dan
line, money.
Snyder.
Bottom line is
Research
money.
Dan Snyder, and then you'll see why he's such an ignorant aspect.
I met that guy once.
Very quickly, the
Little
Robstown Cotton Pickers. There you go. Robstown Cotton Pickers in Robstown, Texas.
The Cotton Gin.
Where
The gym is called the Cotton Gin. How disrespectful and rude could that be?
And the town, apparently, according to the Huffington Post, 84% white. Not that that should even matter. The mascot is terrible. The logo is terrible.
I mean,
everything about it is offensive.
I don't understand how these public schools, this is even allowed to happen, honestly.
I don't either. Let's move along. I believe we have two more. The Akron East Orientals. That is in Ohio, as a matter of fact. Akron, Ohio, obviously.
I know exactly where it's at.
You do?
Yeah.
It still exists.
Yeah.
Or excuse me, they changed their name as well to the Dragons.
And even that is like a caricature of like.
But see, when you're growing up, I knew that. I knew they were the Orientals the whole time. But now all of a sudden, you just realize it when you get older. When you're a kid, you're like, oh yeah, it's just Akron East. We got a game there.
And that's what they're making fun of. And lastly, the Frisco Coons, a North Dallas suburb. And they now changed their name about 12 years ago to the Raccoons. No media on that one. The Raccoons.
Wow.
So there you go. I will relate it to you, as your mom said, about the Cleveland Blackies.
Right.
For me, what if they did, the Chicago Jews, and people dressed up in top hats, and they had seats, and all this stuff, and they like did this ritual at halftime where the guy came out with a tallis and he was, bobbing back and forth. I mean, I would find that incredibly offensive. Absolutely.
So it's kind of like with Native Americans in general. Like I think that's the main issue right now with
the main issue is closed-minded people not being open to other cultures and not opening their eyes that, you know what, Americans don't rule everything. Like there are other people that exist in the world other than white people.
The power that these franchises have, where they can sit back and say, no, we're not going to change.
And I don't understand
that.
I don't understand the change thing. They don't. Tradition. Okay, we get it, but things change. We used to wear leather helmets.
It's money. I mean, think about all the Redskins gear that gets sold every year. Again, they're I think the 5th most valuable NFL franchise. Something like that. They're enormous. All the Redskins jerseys, all the Redskins hats. Same with Cleveland Indians to a lesser extent. But they have a rich.
Anymore,
they're not exactly, and they have. They have a
it.
pretty rich tradition as well. Like they've been around forever.
They were in Major League.
They were.
Yeah,
it's true.
That's the most important. I mean, Charlie Sheen. Duh.
Yeah. It's money, man.
And bottom line, like you said, it's money. Bottom line.